Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know that it has been a minute, but it's never too late to go back to something that you love doing, right? So today's video is highly requested and it was actually a little bit surprising to me, and it's gonna be my 7 budgeting tips. Now, if you don't follow me on Twitter, which you should be doing because that's where I'm the most vocal and active, I often talk about the process of me paying off my loans. I should be completely debt-free by November 1st of this year. I'll get more into that later. And since I'm able to do those things and travel, you guys just kind of want to know my tips. So I figured I'd share them with you, and hopefully it helps you on your budgeting journey as well. So before I get started in the tips, I want to give you guys a brief rundown of my financial history. I graduated in 2013 with my bachelor's degree in marketing and communications. 2016, I graduated with a master's degree in global strategic communications. For those 2 degrees in total, I took out $44,652. Mind you, I did do dual enrollment while I was in high school, so that's why it may not be as significant amount as other people, because I didn't pay for my first 2 years of college, technically. I'm super excited for that to finally come. So, all right, let's get started for real now. First tip is that you have to get your mindset together. If you are just going to continuously think that having debt is normal and student loans are normal and car payments, like I'm just going to have a car payment forever, that's completely normal, that's not going to give you the push that you need in order to actually knock out a significant amount of debt. I have just always been the type of person where if I say that I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I visualize it, I manifest it, like I write it down, I do countdowns. So the first step in even starting all this is just figuring out your why. One thing for me was I was thinking to myself, okay, I have a car loan of $400 or a car payment of $400. I have a student loan payment of almost $500. If I didn't have those 2 things, what would I do with $1,000 extra a month? I could donate more, I could do this, I could have a scholarship fund. So all these things were just coming to my head, and I kind of just had to hone down and figure out why it was so important to me. My second tip is that you need to have tunnel vision. You know, your goals aren't about what you're willing to do, it's what you're willing to give up. Kind of relate budgeting a lot to my bikini competitor days. I know it sounds silly. Back then when I was training for my bikini competitions, it wasn't, oh, I'm willing to go to the gym. It's the things that I was willing to turn away from and not do in order to hit that goal. It's kind of the same thing with budgeting. Tell your friends, hey, I can come out to your birthday dinner, but I can't spend money on drinks like that. Yes, when you're budgeting, there's times where you can put things in there for special activities, but if you're really gonna be tunnel vision focused and put every single cent, every single dollar that you possibly can to knocking out your debt, you're gonna have to really sit with yourself and figure out what are you willing to give up to hit that goal. My third tip is to set small goals, and you will see a bigger payoff, in my opinion. I've tried a lot of budgeting apps and tools where they budget for the entire month, and that's kind of hard for me to do. Me personally, when I do my budget, I budget for every 2 weeks because I get paid every 2 weeks. Even though I'm not living paycheck to paycheck, in my budget, it's almost as if I am. I budget for that paycheck, anything that I believe that's gonna come out, you know, bills wise during that time. I allocate some spending money to myself, and I really just focus on those 2 weeks, and anything extra goes straight to my debt. My fourth tip is to follow Dave Ramsey's baby steps. Now, if you know who Dave Ramsey is, you know that he has a set number of baby steps that you can follow in order to build wealth. Listening to Dave Ramsey's podcast is something that I do honestly every single day, and I feel like it has really helped me get in the right mindset. The first one is to have a $1,000 emergency baby fund. Your second step is to be debt-free, and he uses the snowball method. So basically what you do is you organize your debts from smallest to largest. You pay the minimum on everything else but the smallest, and you throw every single dollar that you can there. Any extra money that I get, whether it's freelancing or a gig that I can do on the side, any extra dollar is going towards that. Once you pay the smallest amount off, then you roll over that monthly payment to the next one, and then you dump everything towards that one. When that one's paid off, you go to the next one, and so on and so forth. That is what has helped me really knock out my student loans. I'll put a screenshot of my student loans. You can see I had, I believe, 9, and all I did was really attack the smallest amount. Once that was done, attack the next one. And it doesn't matter if one has a higher interest rate than the other. Biggest point of that is to feel that momentum of seeing that done. When I saw, all 10 loans and I knocked out one, I was just kind of like, all right, it's one, it was nice, but when you saw, okay, 4 were done, 5 were done, it just made me feel like, oh wow, I'm actually doing this. I'm getting closer towards the end, and that momentum is priceless. Promise you, Dave Ramsey, your podcast, your books, everything has saved my life. My 5th tip is to find what works for you budgeting wise. So for me, I don't know why apps just don't work for me. I believe I use Mint as an app just to like plug in and I get my credit report, but that's one of those things, again, going back to my other point, where that's a monthly budget and it just doesn't do well with me. Even though I love Dave Ramsey, he has an app called the Every Dollar Counts, or Every Dollar Matters. I've tried it and it just didn't do well for me. It wasn't until I made my own budget with my own spreadsheet, my own numbers, that I actually get excited towards looking and doing that. The main point is to have a healthy relationship with this process. So whatever is gonna help you get there easily, you wanna do that. Tip number 6 is to take out your spending money in cash. Now I told you guys I budget for every 2 weeks. So say I give myself $300 to spend for those 2 weeks. When I get paid, I take out those $300 in cash, and that's all I'm using spending money for those 2 weeks. When it runs up, that's it. Obviously, for emergencies or things like that, I have backups that I know that I can turn to, but there's something psychological about feeling your money in your hands, in your wallet, and giving it up because you wanted to spend $20 on acai bowl and some juice. It's really hard to feel that same connection when you're just swiping your card, seeing that, oh crap, it's, Tuesday and I get paid on Friday and I have $40 left. Let me chill, let me make sure that I stay low. On the flip side, say you're approaching the end of your 2-week budget and you see that you still have some cash left over, you can then apply that, whether it's to your emergency savings fund or the smallest amount of your debt if you're gonna do the snowball method. And that way, when the next payday comes, your budget kind of just resets to whatever you had planned for those 2 weeks. So I have found that has helped me a lot. It's helped me cut down my spending because I was definitely the type of person that I could go to CVS and spend $50 on what? And finally, tip number 7 is to pick a date. When I was budgeting, I had such a huge amount of money that I knew that I wanted to pay off. In the very beginning, I couldn't pick a date because I was like, okay, well, I, in a perfect world, want to put $700 a month towards this loan, but things happen. That's not going to always be the same. Once I got under 15 grand of my student loans, I did my bi-weekly budget. How many checks would it take for me to pay that off? It took a while of like calculating and figuring it out, but when I saw November 1st, I was like, I could be done paying all of this before Christmas. I thought for sure, I was gonna pay it off like April of 2020. And to think that I could knock out all those months and have it done before, that like lit something in me that I was just like, psh, don't bother me, November 1st, put a countdown on my phone, put it in my agenda, crossing out the days. Like it really does something to you. It's almost like if I have, this sounds so silly, like a bikini photo shoot coming up or something, right? Or my bikini competition. It's like, I need to work, I need to do cardio, I need to eat, I need to do everything perfectly because I have this date already in mind. And that's it. And that's all I have for you guys today. 7 budgeting tips that I personally follow myself, which I believe have gotten me to where I am now. Hopefully by November 1st, I'll be completely debt free. I'm gonna throw a huge party. Call me if you wanna come. But if you guys have any additional budgeting tips that you would wanna share with anyone, go ahead and comment them down below so I can share them maybe in my next video. I do want to do a video where I give you guys a walkthrough of how I use my budgeting template in Excel, and then I also want to do a video for any incoming college students or anyone who's interested in getting their master's degree and talking about my experience with that and what I learned from it financially. So if you would be interested in watching that, comment below. Thank you guys again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Peace out.